Alright, sorry about the late start. I had a little bit of trouble getting everything connected. Can you pin a fish? Can you pin a fish? Can you fin a fish? Yes, we can pin a fish. You need to collect 100,000 fish or more in your starter lake, and that gives you the ability to pin them. I guess on default settings it's just 100 fish, but on 1000 times it looks very funny. On 1000 times science cost you need 100,000 fish, which we've got. Last stream we did a fishing stream, so that's how we got here. We scientifically deduced the average starter lake has 100 fish because we cherry picked our data from the few times we hit the restart button. But since then I've actually gone back, you know, it doesn't matter what the average rate of fish in a lake is. What matters is what we started out with, right? So I went back about 2120 saves all the way back to the beginning. 1 year ago. I just reloaded my own map. This is how it all started. Crazy to think back about now. And as it actually turns out, we started with exactly 120 fish. So sucks to be me. If I want 1000 times fish cost, I will need 120,000 fish. It does not suck to be you, however, because between streams I then went ahead and I fished up another 20,000 fish from the lake so that we didn't have to spend an hour doing that again. So while there's only 100,000 fish now in the lake currently, I've got another 20,000 in my inventory, which we will drop off right now. And then we will have truly completed one of the 4 post-game goals. Let's note them down. We've got a long-term goal is 1800 Prometheum science per minute in order to complete the 12 science packs which the biolabs can handle. All 12 science packs instead of not quite all 12, but only 11 because you need 11 to finish the game. So that's our long-term goal. Our medium-term goal is making a space casino. So we are gonna want some, I guess, eventually legendary quality asteroids. But for now all we can unlock is rare because, you know, 5 million for epic, 5 million for legendary. It's not gonna happen quite soon. So that's the space casino. That's what we're gonna be working on today, I think. The short-term goal is getting our mech armor infused with all the cool new toys we have been researching, like the portable fusion reactor, and I think we have the Mark II Roboport and the Mark III battery unlocked now as well. So we want to basically upgrade our 2 armors, our 2 mech armors into better quality gear, replace the fission reactors for fusion reactors, upgrade the batteries, perhaps make some other minor changes, who knows. We got the other armor as well, except we cannot open it right now, so we can upgrade to Mark II Roboports and better batteries and fusion reactors. Once this technology is in 2 hours time from now, so I guess let's add a mech armor. It's not the mech armor itself, but it's the end game equipment. Equipment, okay, equipment, end game equipment, that'll do. Equipment, and that is not gonna go well this stream, I already feel it. End game equipment, and the very, very short-term goal we have is, as aforementioned, 120 times fish cost. No, 1000 times fish cost. 1000 times fish cost equals 120k fish in the starter lake, including bendy fish. Those are the 4 goals we have. Hopefully today we can complete the first 3. And then the last goal will probably be probably be a several stream type of endeavor. So yeah, you can see in the mouse over, there's 100k fish in the lake. If I pick up a single one, it'll show me 99k in the mouse over. That's how we know it's exactly 100k. It's not rounded to 100k. Now I got 20,005 fish in my inventory. So once we drop back that fish again, 100k. So all we have to do is drop 20k fish in the lake. Here's the counter on the bar. Guess we can open the inventory as well, just see what's going on. So let's fill up this pond because it's looking a little bit greenish in here. It should look more black still. Everything will break, yeah. Everything involving quality will break once we hit, once I research epic quality, because the way I've set up my inserters. Fortunately, we've got 5 million signs worth of time to fix all the places where that can be. Probably it's mostly, I mean, whatever we're storing now in chests in terms of rare stuff, it can store a mix of rare, epic and legendary, I suppose, just to start off. And we'll only have to adjust some inserter settings. Did a little bit of fishing off cam, a little bit of mining off cam. What are we doing? I guess I just answered that. And afterwards rechat like usual. It's gonna be this is gonna be mainly a background stream, I would say. Very safe to watch in the background. Right, my inventory is empty. So now we should have 120,000 fish in the lake. That means we earn ourselves our first check mark. Let's move them over a little. We are very generous with giving ourselves check marks on this playthrough. Goal 1 out of 4 complete. 1000x fish cost truly compiled. I cannot spell today. Hopefully I can speak a little bit today. Yeah, and we can indeed tag fish. So we're going to use that in every single playthrough from now on. Unfortunately, we cannot tag worms, however. I cannot, it doesn't give me to tag the worm. I guess I could tag right besides it and give it like the name for Johnny, but yeah. Enough visual clutter as is. This also just serves as a way back pointer. Whenever I'm off screen, it will show me the direction my base is in, so it's a functional thing as well. Especially now with the Mech armor, we can just follow the arrow, whereas before we sometimes encountered like huge lakes and stuff in our way, which we couldn't cross, but now of course we can. Alright. Endgame equipment. I guess we could have a look at the stuff we need for that to start off. So let's just look in the crafting thing, what we can make now. So we can make Mark III batteries. That requires a ton of Mark II batteries. And supercapacitors. I think we have been making supercapacitors on Fulgora, at least in limited quantity. Perhaps I was just hand feeding them. I guess I was just hand feeding them. We still have some of this stuff available here though. So yeah, that should be fairly simple for the batteries. The other thing is we got Mark II Roboport. Okay, that just requires straight up superconductors. As well as normal Roboports. It's going to be fairly expensive to upgrade, I suppose. We've got a lot of Roboports in here. We might not need this many, but I don't know. It's kind of nice to have a massive robot army. But 50 superconductors is a lot. I don't think we have that many. Okay, we currently only have 600 and we need them to make supercapacitors as well. So perhaps we'll need to let this run for a bit longer before we can actually truly upgrade our armors. So I guess Space Casino is gonna be the shorter term goal. Then we got the fusion reactors. I guess those also take those things. Alright, we are currently researching that, so I cannot see that yet in the crafting menu. Oh yeah, okay, so that requires rare quantum processors again, which we don't have because we only made barely enough to build the fusion reactor on the solar system edge ship. So we can actually, we cannot make this straight off the bat without investing some effort. We can make the rest of the stuff, but not the fusion reactors itself. I know I need to automate quantum processors to do the science stuff. The Prometheum science requires the automation of quantum processors, something which I accidentally forgot. I thought just Prometheum asteroids and Byte-Rex, those were the things on my mind. I kinda missed they also require quantum processors, so I'll need to automate all of these things going to Aquilo, and we need to automate the making of those things specifically for Aquilo as well. So that might, I hope we can leech off the existing bases to get these supplies, but we might have to set up like small specific bases on every planet specifically to make that stuff if we're unlucky. I'm not going to worry about that today. So I think we're just going to group that together with the armor stuff then. We're not going to do the armor today. We're going to make the casino today. So that hinges on, I hope that hasn't been updated yet. I don't think it has. I'm not on the latest version anyway. Where is my platform? So as I understand it, I have never made a space casino just yet, but as I understand it, what we need to do is we need to grab asteroids, and then we take the reprocessing recipe, which has a 80% chance to give back an asteroid, with a 20% chance to just delete it completely. It doesn't really matter which asteroid comes back in the beginning, but if we put quality modules in here, which currently we can still do, like you can see the modules which are allowed are in the mouse over right now. I have it from hearsay that is going to be disallowed in Factorio 2.1. They will nerf the Space Casino, or basically nerf it. They'll just nuke it out of existence. So I want to make one while I still have the chance, just for fun. So they will let us put quality modules in here, which means we have a 6.4% chance that the resulting module will, or that the resulting asteroid will be uncommon. If not, we can just reprocess it again and again and again. And basically by having then these recipes available in the different qualities, you can then upcycle the asteroids, and once they are the quality you want, you can then have regular processing. I guess I can do the advanced ones now as well, where we basically, we need to select the right quality then. Currently we are limited to rare, but we also already could set it up to work for legendary as well. I don't see why we couldn't. Especially if we make a large sushi loop of all asteroids with all qualities, like over here, something like this, but then with quality. Doesn't really matter if all machines have access to all asteroids. We can just throw everything on the belt, and we can already just reserve space for the ones which are going to do epics and legendary. I guess technically we could also do this result on epic level, and then use quality modules to try and get the legendary, or that might be a good way actually. It will get me less legendary stuff but more epic. That sounds bad, doesn't it? Epic is the worst quality in the game, comparably. Do we have an entry for quality? don't think we do. I don't think there's a specific entry for quality, so let's just take something with crafting speed 1, like a chemical plant. So the way quality works is it adds 30% per level, which means you get a 30% bonus from normal to uncommon. Crafting speed goes from 1 to 1.3. Then to rare it goes to 1.6, which is a 30% bonus compared to the original, but it's not a 30% bonus compared to uncommon, right? It's more like a 25% bonus. 1.6 divided by 1.3. Yeah, it's like a 23% bonus. And then to get to epic, you get another 30% bonus, but if you compare it to rare, it's only an 18.75% bonus, right? But the thing is, then when you go to legendary, so you go from 1.6 to 1.9 to epic, but legendary gets 2 times that 60% bonus, so it jumps all the way to 2.5, which makes legendary quite good again, and also it's the highest quality in the game, so eventually you will have to get that anyway if you want the maximum out of your base. But that's 2.5 divided by 1.9. That's a relative 31.5% quality speed increase compared to epic. So yeah, I consider epic to be the worst quality in the game. It has the smallest gain from the last level. So yeah, I think we'll not do this. We'll just reprocess the epic qualities and hope to get legendary ones. And then I guess we can do this with productivity modules at legendary quality or rare quality, I suppose, to start off with. Use productivity modules just to get the most out of the rare or legendary asteroids we will be getting. That's probably the way. It's probably a good idea to make a flying platform, but I don't think I'm going to. I kind of like this shape now. We spent so much effort into like making this shape, as you probably have seen in the last video, which means I'm just going to use it for my space casino as well. Just gonna build one of these and grab all the asteroids we can. We know exactly how many asteroids we'll be getting, so we will be getting a steady supply as well, because we're not flying into different areas throughout the solar system, which all have their own asteroid densities and trajectories and types and whatnot. So it might be a little bit slower, but you know, it's my first space casino, so why not keep things simple? If we go above Norvis, we know exactly how many asteroids we get. We also know that we cannot get asteroids which can destroy stuff, which we need to shoot down, which means we don't need any other infrastructure on here either. And later, if we really like it, we can make a compact version which can actually fly places with laser turrets or whatnot. But for now, I think we're gonna go make a platform like this. So I guess we can just get started on that. Get the rocket silos launching in their spare time, whenever they're not launching plastics to Vulcanus. We can do that. The rocket launch, you can check your... don't do advance for metal. Copper you can get from LDS shuffle. You cannot get all materials from space anyway, right? Like stone. I guess a good way to do stone would be on Vulcanus. Just make you can basically turn calcite into quality stone, I think. Just use a foundry, pump lava, add calcite, make iron or copper, whatever, just void it. But if you put quality modules in the foundries, you get quality stone as a byproduct. And I have it from hearsay that also has a chance to get yeeted in Factorio 2.1. So that way of making quality stone is going to become unavailable perhaps as well. I'm not sure about that, but people, you know, they have been saying it, whoever they may be. LDS Shuffle requires a lot of productivity research to work lossless, but we don't need it to work lossless, right? Let's see, what is LDS Shuffle anyway? First space platforms, right? I did build my 10 space platforms. Ooh. There comes the purple signs. Right, so basically you need quality plastics, which is quality coal or quality carbon from space, I suppose. So if you have the 300% low density productivity bonus research done, you basically can make 5 plastics into 4 low density structures, and then you can recycle those 4 low density structures exactly back into the 5 plastics you used to make them, and that way you can do lossless upcycling to legendary quality. We cannot do it lossless, but we can still do it. I think it works a lot less great though when you lose like 75% of the ingredients every cycle, especially since you need to start with quality coal already. Yeah, that sounds pretty bad actually. So I think I probably will get my quality copper from directly from space. I think I'm just gonna go. Okay, focus. Platforms. I need platforms. I'm out of platforms because we made 10. I have 10 platforms, so we need platforms. How do you make those things? I made them only once at the beginning of the when we researched the space science stuff. Don't even know what it looks like. Starter pack. All right, so we need. I guess we'll just make 10 again. We'll need to eat 600 space platforms, 200 blue chips, and 200 steel. At 600, 200, and steel. That's a 60-second recipe or what? Yeah, 60-second. Right, I don't want quality. Okay, we'll make the second 10 for the post-victory situation, and then we'll figure out what to do with it. So basically we want a new space platform. Space casino attempt. Let's have the attempt to be silent. And what we want is basically the ideal spawn box. I got 2 versions. One has no filter on asteroids and one has metallics on asteroids. Collectors. 4,300 platforms. I guess the bots will make that. Alright, here's our platforms. Back to the Johnny silo. Alright. There goes this platform. If you weren't looking to avoid spoilers, then keep not looking. Because this is the same playthrough still, we're just continuing it. So we might you might see flashes from other planets. This is far in the future though. By the time this comes out, you will have forgotten all about the stream again. Maybe there is no need to worry too much. Right, we got a space casino. I think the first thing we want to do is I guess let's just paste the this thing. We cannot actually paste it though, because yeah, it only lets us paste it up to here. The rest will not be pasteable. That's about all. It is going to automatically request missing construction materials though. But what we actually want is, we want over 4,000 of the things. So we also need some space to actually make it. So let's just fill this up with space platforms. Yeah, and I guess we should actually slowly start building this. Okay, so now whenever no spaceships are requesting stuff, we should be launching space platforms up to over here. It is a little bit annoying that every time I paste the blueprint, we're going to override the requests, I think, on the central cargo hub. So that is fairly annoying. And again, it's going to take a while to build the platform again. And we have to wait until the platform builds itself out before we can place the next part, annoyingly. So only the green parts can be built. And there's only a tiny section green. So we're going to have to paste this like 17 times or whatever. That's fine. I guess in the meantime we can just stay on the screen there. Let's flick off the automatic request. Could try to snap this to a grid, perhaps. And then just delete the space platform hub. Let's make a copy of that before I mess things up. We'll put a copy in our own inventory. And we'll put that on the bar. So this is now a safe version to mess with. So let's save it as this. Can I now? Okay, so now, yeah, okay, we have the correct stuff, but without the hub. So now if I paste it, this doesn't change. And we'll continue going out further. Alright, so let's check out the advanced recipes. I haven't used them at all. Ever, basically. So there's like 6 variants, right? 3 asteroid types, 6 variants. You have the basic ones, which I have used for space science and on board and whatnot. Metallics make iron, carbonics make carbon, and the oxides make ice. That's all I've gotten so far. So let's check out the advanced ones. Now we're gonna make iron and copper. 10 iron and 4 copper instead of 20 iron. So we get less resources out of it, but a bigger variation. We also get the asteroid back only 5% of the time instead of 20%. I guess it's gonna be slightly worse. This is worth what? 24, 25 iron ore. I think it's worth 25 iron ore. And this is worth barely more, let's say 15. So 15 to 24, or about, get about 60% of the resources out of it in total. You know, if I look at what I actually have on Norvies at the moment, if we look iron, I don't have a lot of quality iron anymore. 26k plates, almost no gears. If we look copper, I have 92k copper and over 1 million of copper cable, which you could recycle back into copper with quality. So maybe I do not need copper for the time being. We can always change the recipes later, but to me it looks like I would much more prefer iron only at this point in time. Also because most of the machines you need to make in quality form, I mean the sciences are fairly balanced between iron and copper and whatnot overall, but the machines and the stuff you build your base from, it's like 90% iron. Maybe with the high-end machines it's slightly less, but like stuff like inserters and belts and splitters and everything is like 90% iron. Of course you don't need quality belts, but yeah. So we're gonna go with the basic variant. Carbon we can use to make coal, I think. We can make spoilage into carbon. What can we do with carbon? Coal synthesis. So yeah, we could make 5 carbon into 1 coal. Not great. Tungsten carbide requires carbon, which is the Vulcan exclusive thing. I have no idea what kind of resources we all need. Let's first look at the advanced recipe. That still gives us carbon, supposedly. 5 carbon and 2 sulfur instead of 10 carbon. Okay, so again, less resources overall, but we get sulfur. Sulfur is used in a liquid, so that doesn't matter. Explosives, which also doesn't really matter for us, I suppose. Science, which doesn't matter, so the only reason we could want the advanced recipe is for coal synthesis. It's 5-to-1 instead of 5-to-2. So perhaps we want a mix of this if we want to make get more sulfur than we get carbon. So maybe we just want a mix of everything. This has got to be like mostly straight up though. Maybe 1-to-5 ratio. So here if we do one of these, sorry, 2 of these, we get 4 sulfur, 10 carbon, and this is another 10, so it's 20 carbon. 20 carbon with 4 sulfur is the recipe required for coal synthesis, right? Yeah, 5-to-1. So this would give me the right ratio of sulfur and carbon to make coal. I guess that's a good starting point. Explosives are used for weaponry, but I'm not really sure we're going to be making quality like quality railgun shells or whatever. We probably want... I mean, we have so many tungsten carbide discs already. So maybe we don't really need that right now. And there doesn't seem to be that much use for carbon on first glance. Maybe I don't know about the late game inserters actually. Yeah, maybe they do require more copper. How much further is streamer mic compared to YouTube mic? Roughly speaking, about 300 hours. Plastics, yeah, plastics for coal. And then you can do that LDS stuff. But yeah, the base resource is coal. guess we're gonna start off with this ratio and just synthesize it into coal. How do you do that anyway? Water. We can do that right in space, can we not? Not sure that's worth it, but yeah, we get the carbon asteroids out there anyway, so whatever it will be, it will be. I don't think I want to I could just re-recycle the carbon actually. Let's say it becomes legendary. You can just recycle the carbonic asteroid chunk with a 40% chance to get metallic or oxide. Kind of a waste, but then we could turn carbon into iron. Maybe that's not such a bad thing. Let's also look at the advanced oxide, because I have no idea what that does. It gives me calcite. Why would I want calcite in quality form? If I want calcite in quality form, I can just mine the calcite patches on Vulcanus. Right, there's like tons and tons of calcite patches which are absolutely not required. We can literally just put quality miners on calcite and just yeet all the non-legendary calcite into the lava straight up, or just recycle it with quality. Just hard recycle all the. That's probably a better way, right? So put quality modules in here, and then if it's not if it's not the highest quality, we'll just recycle the rest until it is the quality we want. So what? Okay, but let's give it a fair view anyway. What can we do with calcite? It's used in a lot of things actually. Cliff explosives, yeah, we don't need that. Coal liquefaction makes coal. This makes steam, that's a liquid as well. It makes lava. This makes iron, but molten iron, so again, no quality. Thruster fuel, okay, so it only really makes cliff explosives and artillery shells. Alright, so there's absolutely no need for... There is no need for this at all, is there? What can we do with ice? We can make platforms, quality doesn't matter, we can melt it, it becomes a liquid. And we can make the 2 science packs. I mean, yeah, of course, we could go for quality space science or whatever, but we've got working stuff. It's working, so we are not going to change stuff. It has been working well for hundreds of hours. So I guess we do recycle the legendaries. I guess for now we need to put it on rares. Just recycle it back until we get something else. How are we on quality coal anyway? No, I got some. I don't have a huge amount. Guess if we want to do it right, we should make an actual list of what all the basic resources we need in quality format are. Similar to what we've been doing early game. We just collected the 4 basic resources. Copper ore, iron ore, stone and coal. We straight up mined the 4 resources in quality form. And from that we could make absolutely everything we want in quality format. I guess we need to think about that on a space age scale for making the stuff of all the different hard. Volgora doesn't add any new resources. I guess holmium ore, but the only use for holmium ore is to turn it into a qualityless fluid. So that we don't care about. All of the things we can make in novice we can already make. I guess stone, we don't have quality stone from space. That's the exception there. Okay, Gleba doesn't really... It has a ton of new resources, of course, but I guess the only thing really is carbon fiber, which is made from carbon and fibers, I suppose. The fibers, the plant fibers. We're already trying to make this. So no, I'm not sure we're gonna be needing more of that. We already kind of automated that. Vulcanus though. We are getting tungsten ore in quality form. We're currently not consuming it. We're probably stuck again. Somewhere. Is this machine just stuck? Oh, okay, we're out of quality carbon. I think all of the quality miners on coal have run out. So this belt, which is supposed to bring in quality coal, is no longer being fed with quality ores. 5.2 million coal down the drain. That's the only quality we had up there. But yeah, technically speaking, we only have quality tungsten, calcite, which is useless as we just found out, and coal, which we already have in Novice as well. So I guess we already are mining quality tungsten. We just need to do stuff with it. We're mining it somewhere. Maybe here? Oh yeah, here. This is our quality tungsten mine, which then is currently backed up. Alright, so actually it's not that difficult. You get quality stone from space? How do you get stone from space? Calcite stone, break concrete, big buildings. You can do the foundry thing in space, of course. Does that still make the stone byproduct? No, because it doesn't have lava. If you do ore melting, there is no stone byproduct. It's only when you have the lava recipe, like on Vulcanus. Where it produces the stone byproduct. Is there a way to get stone from space? I didn't think there was. Calcite just for stone, but if I have it correct, you can just put quality modules in here and you'll get quality stone as a byproduct. Of course you don't get quality liquid, but you can just void the liquid. Somewhat similar to what we're doing right here. Just putting the copper in and voiding it. And then just keep the quality stone. How you get lava in space then, that's what I want to know. Using legendary calcite you get legendary stone. The calcite recipe. Is there a recipe for calcite? Calcite recipe, calcite, calcite. Okay, yeah, okay, I'm done. This recipe in quality format you guys mean, right? Ah, yes, yes. So you get straight up legendary stone. I think I would just prefer to reroll my ice asteroids though. And just simply dedicate one or many of the millions of calcite we got here and just Put quality modules in the mining drill. Recycle what is not isn't that the same thing? Yeah, that's the same thing. I guess you can do it a bit more resource efficient instead of miner and then recycler until we get legendary calcite and then make it into legendary stone. We can just make all the calcite of all qualities into of all different qualities in quality stone. I don't think casino upcycling is gonna be that effective for me yet. Space casinos are so terribly effective because of I think because of this technology, asteroid productivity, where you get tons and tons of extra resources out of the you get up to like 3 times the resources, right, out of each asteroid. And I think this also goes for the byproduct, so it's not just so that's the difference there. I don't have any productivity on that, which is a big deal, a lot bigger deal than you might think, because if you use this recipe, you get back the asteroid 20% of the time, but if you have a 300% productivity bonus, you get the asteroid back 80% of the time, right? And you also get the iron ore is also subject to productivity bonus. So basically, you only consume 0.2 asteroids for every one that you catch. So you get 5 times you can basically do 5 recipes on the entire thing. And then those 5 recipes also have 300% productivity bonus, which means you get 400 iron ore instead of 20 that I'm getting over here. I think that's right, no? I get 20, let's say with 0% productivity bonus, I get 25 quality iron ore, but with 300% you get 400 quality iron ore, which is like a factor of 20 different. So it's in my game it's not going to be that crazy. These byproducts are affected by productivity. I did test it for the last video. I guess we can do a quick test just to be sure. Then we know what we're dealing with. Let's just save over here.